is a massive platform to be able to express yourself on and to perform on. What does it mean to be making yourself available to such a massive market?
I mean, I think over the last few months, it's been documented about, boxers' journey. And just like any fighter's journey, the promotion's had a bit of a difficult time. And it's looking to bounce back. And I've had to do that. Jamie's had to do that. What better way, what better place to bounce back than the BBC? I think the fact that it's going to be accessible to everyone, and eyes are going to be on the sport, eyes are going to be on the British heavyweight title. Myself and Jamie, we have a responsibility. We're the first headliners fighting for the British title on this new platform with these new eyes, hopefully bringing more audience from different backgrounds, different walks of life, being able to tune in and see what British boxing's about, British heavyweight boxing, in fact. And, I think me and Jamie have already had a few words this morning, and this isn't the typical and usual heavyweight contest. There's going to be no chairs thrown. There's going to be no tables thrown. There doesn't really need to be no slang between us. Listen, we've probably all been there and done it, but we've matured. This is two men that are dedicated to their craft, love the sport, and we're willing to compete with each other to be the best in Britain at heavyweight. And like I say once again, it's a privilege for myself to be able to do that live on the BBC.
Yeah. October 25th is the Valiant Arena in Derby. 8 p.m. prime time, BBC Two. The undercard will be on BBC iPlayer. What a big opportunity this is for you as well, Jamie. How are you approaching this moment?
I'm excited, man. I can't even put it into words, but not many people realize how big this moment is, not only for Boxer, BBC, and for me and Frazer. It's big for British boxing in general. And we're here to, me and Frazer are going to make history being the first fight in 20 years to be on BBC.
25.
25 years, yeah, so I didn't even know that. So, yeah, man, special. I'm excited about it.
This fight threatened to happen a couple of years ago. There was maybe not tables and chairs thrown, but it was definitely not as nice as it is now. How was that rivalry born, and how has it progressed, and how have we ended up here today?
Like I said previously, if you had asked me about Frazer 3 years ago, I said, I'll put him in a headlock, I'll flip him, I'll throw a chair at him, whatever. But over time, just like you said, we've grown. Look, we're dedicated to our craft, and it all started off when I boxed Jake Darnell, and they asked him what he thinks of me, and he had said that he would use me as a tune-up. So I said,
remember,
okay, if I'm really a tune-up, let's get it cracking. I took it personally, I made it personal, and obviously he took it personally the way I came at him, and then it was a bit of a back and forth, but over time, I've grown to, I respect Frazer a lot, and we now respect each other now, so it's different times,
You've had to graft your way up the ranks sometimes, not in the spotlight, but how does it feel to be headlining the first event on the BBC with Boxer?
Oh, it's big, man. Like I said, it's prime time, baby.
Yeah.
So, it's a special moment, man. I can't, look, the pictures were up earlier of the previous champions. I want to be a part of that history. Yeah. I want my picture to be up next time. So.
Is that a motivation for you to rank and to be mentioned in the same breath as some of those greats that we saw out there?
Of course, 100%.
You've been in boxing, it seems, forever. Part of the amateur setup. It feels like this is what you know better than anybody and better than anything else. What does it mean for the people that are around you, your family, your friends, your community, the people at Loughborough, that you are headlining this event?
Boxing it's become my identity over the years. You're absolutely right. I started this game, as a young, unconfident, overweight child, that didn't really feel like he had a place in sport. And over years, it's grown me to who I am. It's allowed me to travel the world and have some great experiences. So the people that have been with me since the beginning, they're still with me now, and they've had to share them experiences with me. And just like Jamie's career, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been times where it's got really hard, and you have to question yourself and why you're doing it. But I think, like I say, come October 25th, I'll be showing everyone, you know, that I love this sport. I'll be giving everything to become British heavyweight champion. And like I say, I think the journey is so important. You know, the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows. They've been such like, you know, personality defining and personal development during them trials and tribulations. And it's led me to who I am today, and I'm proud of that person. But what I will say is, this boxing life, you know, and this is to anyone that's watching that maybe wants to get in, it's serious, Dan. And everyone will tell you it's serious, mentally, physically draining, but we do it for moments like the 25th of October.
You've had big fights before. How many of those occasions, in particular the fights with Fabio Wardley, how much have they shaped you as a fighter?
Massively. We've had 2 fights. As people know, the first one went down as a classic. The second one, I got chinned. So just look at the ebbs and flows there, you know, from being on that high of possibly winning the British title, which I thought I'd just nick the fight, to then being dismantled in a round. It just shows you the epic swings in boxing. It can happen at any point, but it's how you pick yourself up from them lows. And I think they've really shaped me, you know, experience. I've done everything quite quick. I fought for the British title the first time very quick. I probably could have done with a few more fights, but I'm an eager beaver. You know, I want to get moving. Some people will say I'm old, but I'm not. I'm fresh. I feel great. The best I've actually felt, you know, so shout out to everyone at Lions, Dem Jim and Luke who have been working with. We feel absolutely fantastic, in a great place, and I'm looking forward to the fight.
Jeamie, how's your camp been thus far? I feel like we know the moment that this fight was announced, everybody looked at it and it's like, that's a good fight. That is one that could gel very quickly. What kind of fight are you expecting? How's your camp been? Sorry, it's a loaded question, this. And do you feel a responsibility to have a fight that is fan-friendly?
Yeah, in a way. I know I just got to turn up. And that's the main thing, and I'm turning up in the gym, so I know I've got to turn up on fight night. Yeah.
What threats does Frazer pose to you? Where is this fight won and lost for you?
I just know, look, Frazer's tough. He showed it with the Fabio fight, the first one, and he showed it again after the fight, after the second fight, coming back as quick as he did. You know, being able to get back in that ring and able to do what he's done. Like I said previously, it shows mental toughness, and that is important for a fighter. So that's what he's shown so far. So I know he's going to come game for this fight.
What kind of fight are you expecting? I feel like a lot of people are expecting maybe something a little bit more similar to the Frazer Clarke, Fabio Wardley first fight. Mm-hmm. I'm sure both of your coaches would prefer you didn't have that type of fight.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm sure everybody watching on BBC Two at home will be hoping for that kind of fight. What do you expect when your head hits the pillow at night?
I actually do expect a war. I do expect us to go back and forth. I expect it to be that type of fight. But we'll see what happens on the night.
What threats does Jeamie pose to you? Listen, Jamie's seasoned now. Like I say, you know, I feel he's been a better fighter since his defeat. Personally, from what I've seen, I think he was doing really well last time out against David Adelaide, who obviously, you know, he's at a certain level. We've seen him go over and fight Filip Bergovic. And he's an all-rounder, you know, I see what he can do. He works well on the inside, he's got a good jab, he's tough, and he's hungry like we all are. Top on what it is, I feel I'm a better fighter than him, and that's just the self-confidence in me, Dan. That's how it is, that's how it has to be. The work will be done on the 25th of the night, but the work has been being done for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and probably months, even longer. You know, everything has been gearing up to this moment. I think Jeamie knew, and I knew we'd always meet. Circumstances led it to be that it's going to be on the BBC for the British heavyweight title. But even back in the day, like you say, like in the Sky days, you know, we had a few back and forths, and it was only a matter of time before we got to lock horns, and here we are. You've mentioned all the hard work that's gone in already. It's a question for both of you, actually. There is a certain amount of sacrifice that has to be made to be a boxer.
And what would you say is the biggest sacrifice you've had to make it to this point today?
I've got 3 beautiful kids. I've got my daughter, 11 weeks old tomorrow. She's hardly seen her daddy, since she was born. She looks at me, I pick her up and she cries. She don't know who I am right now, do you know what I mean? But it's all for the right reasons, I'm a selfish man, Dan. I'm a very selfish man. You can ask anyone. I have to be selfish. The sacrifices are more than anyone can know. The relationships that break down with people, friends, and people you don't get to see, things you miss, special occasions. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love it. I love taking myself, my body, my mind to places where I don't think it can go, in order for one thing, and that's to be victorious. And
to you, Jeamie?
I'll say the same thing. Just like Frazer, I'm a family man. But yeah, we've made sacrifices to be here. Obviously, I'm not taking it lightly that I've made these sacrifices, so I've got to come out on top on October 25th.
Boxing is all about legacy. On October 25th, what do you want people to say about that fight?
Can you hear me?
Yep, got it.
How amazing it was, how exciting it was, and that's what we're aiming for.
Well, looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody is looking forward to it. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll do a face-off and then do some media stuff.